Hello, very good morning, students. Welcome to virtual classes. Turn on to the page number 160, lesson number 7, The Refugees. Look into the textbook as I read. Page number 160, first paragraph. They walked through the new capital, Align, and from a far country. Yes, although their own lands were only a few hundred miles, perhaps, from this very street upon which they are now walked, but to them it was very far. You can see that in the first word pronoun they're not specifically mentioning who are they, from which country or a city they belong to. Here they refers to the refugees of some place. They walked through the new capital, Align, and from a far country. Here they are walking along the new capital. Here, new capital refers to it might be a capital city of some state or a country, but that city was quite new and Align means unknown to those people, and they were from a far country. Here, the word country refers to a village. Yes, although their own lands were only a few hundred miles, perhaps, from this very street upon which they now walked, but to them it was very far. Though the lands or the villages where they stayed and lived and from where they are coming now, it's not very far. It's just a few hundred miles away from this city. But still, for them, the city is quite new, unknown, in the sense they had never visited that city before. They were born, brought up, lived, and many of them died in the villages. So, since it is a new to them, and so they feel that it's quite far. Their eyes were the eyes of those who have been taken suddenly and by some unaccountable force from the world they have always known and always thought until this time. So when you see, when you look at their eyes, we say that most of the feelings and expressions can be understood through the eyes. When you look at the eyes of these refugees, what kind of a feelings that you can see? They were suddenly attacked by some natural disaster, natural calamity which they cannot express, which is quite mysterious. Unaccountable means which is unexplainable. So they cannot express, and it is quite mysterious. And but they knew about such calamity. They had heard it before. They had seen it occurring at the different parts of the world, but they never expected that the same thing would come to their life, the same thing would happen in their life. They thought that they were safe from such kind of a natural calamity until this time. From this we understand that there is some disaster which has happened. Due to that, they were forced to leave their village and come to a city in order to survive. You can see that a sudden change and a sudden disaster through their eyes. Continuing with the same paragraph, they they who had been accustomed only to country roads and fields walked now along the proud streets to the new capital, their feet treading upon the new concrete sidewalk. And although the street was full of things they had never seen before, so that they were even automobiles and such things of which they had never even heard, still they looked at nothing but passed as in a dream, seeing nothing. So you can see that they were accustomed means they were used to walk only on the village roads, only on the village fields. They had never used to walk on the concrete roads like a city roads. Now they are walking on the concrete roads, which means to say that the place is quite new and unfamiliar to them. And you can see they are walking along the footpath on the sidewalk. So the streets in the city were full of many things which these villagers had never seen before in their lives. And there were even automobiles like cars, bikes, and vans and other things which they had not heard of before in their villages, but still they were not looking at any of these things because they are in such a drastic situation. They were almost near to death. They are in such a big disaster or a calamity that they have left everything, their house, their property, and the lands which they owned and lived and settled permanently. Now they are coming out of the villages. Now they are refugees. They don't know where to go, where to stay, what to do for the food, and what kind of a job to do. And in that fear of death and survive, the people will not have any curiosity to know about new things and to buy or possess such things. They never looked at them, but they passed on the streets just as if they were walking in the dreams.